Hey guys, welcome to Spicy Tales Podcast with Kim and Stacy.
What up?
I actually have a spicy tale today.
Shocker.
Thank God it's been probably at least a month. So I will go right into it. And this takes place years and years ago. And that is why I'm comfortable saying it, because I know my mom's going to listen to this and be very disappointed in me. So this was at least 6 years ago. We have an outdoor festival, EDM festival called Escapade, which the lineup came out this year, and Diesel, aka Shaquille O'Neal.
First of all, Shaq is playing on the same day as the Chainsmokers, and your girl is
Shout out to the Chainsmokers, Ottawa talent. So me and my friend,
who shall not be named,
are huge EDM fans. Actually, she got me into it. And so we went to EDM. I think it was my first year going to EDM, and it was at the field next to the casino, so Carlton Raceway.
This is before they moved it to Lansdowne?
Yeah, I don't like it in Lansdowne. It's too small.
I've never been to Escapade.
And so we were having a great time. This is the era where you would wear, your high-waisted shorts, a little tank top, a little bejeweled stuff on your face, whatever. So we took the bus there. And yeah, we were having a great time. I think Marshmallow was there, Cascade was there. And this is actually, Cascade set is where this all went down. So we were in the crowd having a good time, having some drinks. And then we saw this guy with a backpack, and he was dealing something. I'm not sure what he was dealing, but I just saw lots of transactions happening.
I bet you did.
And then we were curious, so we go up to him and we ask him, "What are you guys doing? What are you selling?" And he said, "MDMA." And so we're like,
tisk, tisk, tisk.
We're like, oh, okay. Never tried it before. So, and I think I'm pretty sure, because I smoked weed for the first time when I was 23. This happened before I smoked weed, which is crazy.
Oh my God.
I guess that summer I was just like, whatever. Exactly. I was on one for sure. And so the guy was just like, okay, well, I will sell it to you guys, one pill each, capsule each.
Not a capsule.
And he said, "Oh, what are you guys, sisters?" Now, my friend is not black. So I don't know why he asked if we were sisters, but clearly he was on whatever he was selling. And we're like, "No, we're besties." And he said, "Well, you guys are going to feel like sisters." And we're like, okay. So he said, "But before I sell you this, I need you guys to get water. I will not sell it to you guys before you get a bottle of water."
That's really nice of him.
Now looking back, hindsight, I'm like, wow, respect to him. So we go get a bottle of water. I was confused why. I think it's because I completely missed the instructions when he was talking to my friend.
Oh, he gave you a list of instructions?
Yeah, he gave us instructions. So then we bought it from him. I completely forgot how much it cost. I would not recommend you guys do this, but whatever. So we went into the porta potty. I just consumed the capsule, took a drink out of my water, and then put my water down. As I'm leaving the porta potty, my friend's like, "Why are you putting the water bottle down?" And I said, "Because I already took it." And she said, "No, the guy told us that you're supposed to open the capsule, put it into the water, and drink it."
Yeah, that's.
And I said, "Oh, well, since I took it whole, I'm probably not even going to feel it." Because I'm dumb.
That's the worst logic I've ever heard in my life.
So then we're vibing out, we're having a good time, and my friend is saying, do you feel that?" And I said, "No." So clearly she's feeling it before I'm feeling it. And then all of a sudden I feel the speakers in my soul. I'm like kind of wavy, kind of feeling like I'm in the 60s, a hippie, like I'm moving like this.
Oh my God.
Just feeling every music, all the sounds, everything I could feel, I'm feeling. And I will never forget because it was Cascade doing their set and they had fireworks at the end. Tell me why I was seeing fireworks in the sky for a good hour after the fireworks ended. And to be honest, I had a great time.
Yeah.
My friend, not so much. She was fighting
demons.
She was fighting whatever that was going on with her. It did not go well with her. We both threw up, actually.
How do you say you had a great time, but you threw up?
Because, it's my boyfriend. I completely forgot to tell him that I'm recording right now. But I don't know. I've thrown up several times throughout because of alcohol and migraines. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me to throw up. And I felt fine afterwards, but she was not. She was just like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm feeling great." And she's like, "Oh my God, like you are not acting like yourself," to the point where, she really did not want to tell my boyfriend at the time that we did it, but I was kind of acting a little off, so
Suspect.
she ended up calling him and he picked us up just for maybe a few weeks afterwards me to green out on weed. And she felt like such a bad friend because it was the second time in a row that he found me with her doing
Fuck shit.
yeah. But she's a great friend and she's always there for me. So
That's
yeah.
apparently.
But, yeah.
That's the friend that you be out here balling out with.
That was the year that I experimented because clearly that year I tried weed and MDMA. That was the first and last time I did MDMA.
It was not it.
No. And so that was the last weekend. And this was at least 2016. So
Good old summer.
the statute of limitations has expired.
Mom's writing this down as we speak. She's like, I'm going to bring this up the next time I talk to her. Summer 2016, I feel like was the year that...
Yeah, that was I think that was either the Fetty Wap year might have been 15, but 16 was the One Dance album.
Was that?
Views.
When did we go to Florida? Pretty sure it was in 2016.
I have no idea.
We went in 2017, but I think it was the time before that.
I just want to see when Views came out because that was a great year. Views, Drake. 2016. Yeah.
That was a great summer.
It was a great summer. So also like this weekend, I feel like seasonal affective disorder, depression is kicking my butt lately.
Yeah.
Because the sun goes down at right now it's 3:50. It goes down around like 4:30.
Yep.
And I'm just in the mood of wanting to drink.
Oh my God.
And just I don't know.
Well, she definitely does, because before we came to the podcast, she was offering me shots. She was drinking
we
wine.
did have a couple shots.
She was offering me wine. I was like, who are you? Like,
I told her it reminded me of when we were in the thick of things of COVID and we were out here just being a mess inside the house.
Yeah, it got to the point that like I felt bad.
Jackson Triggs, the boxes of wine.
the boxes of wine. Like it got to the point that every time that we'd put out our recycling box, it was literally
either
only
Amazon
or boxes of wine.
Boxes of wine.
And then whenever we didn't want a box, we're like, let's just get a bottle so we tame it down and then go and buy another bottle before 11 at the superstore. Because I'm like, oh my God, it's 10:45 and we're still drinking. Let's go get a box now. So, yeah. 2020, that whole summer, that whole year was
rough.
But
also a good time too.
Oh my gosh, one of my friends was saying it was the year we couldn't do anything, but we did everything.
Right.
Literally.
And we also saved a lot of money.
Yeah, we did.
I know earlier this year we had our goals. I'm trying
Not meeting
to
Not meeting that. Let's just be.
That's the thing. It's the season of gaining weight. I'm literally looking at my face right now, and I know that I've gained weight. I haven't been on the scale in forever, but I haven't been to the gym in forever. And this is when you start packing on weight because you're not as active. At least in the summer, yeah, you're eating out, you're drinking, but you're active, you're going outside. But now it's slowing down. Today's actually a very nice day, but it's getting dark, it's getting cold, you don't want to do anything, you're kind of just on your couch. Netflix just added Vanderpump Rules to on their shows, so I'm watching that because my sister, I'm using my sister's Hey You account, and she was watching Vanderpump Rules, but she actually told me that I could start watching it on Hey You.
Yeah, go off. I'm not gonna
on a break,
right
I guess.
I'm just good on the reality shows right now. I'm just like,
I am currently watching Potomac. Real Housewives of Potomac just came out.
You're like in the thick of like all the reality shows.
The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills just came out, so I am watching those.
I love watching the clips of like the reality shows.
There's a video, and it's of a scene of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and it's someone just whispering, and they're talking in whisper instead of like their regular voice.
Because it's like,
hilarious.
how can you watch people yelling at each other? It's like, this is how I hear it, and they're like yelling at each other, but it's like a whisper. It's kind of like ASMR. And it's hilarious.
Also, thank you everyone for getting us to 800 subscribers on YouTube. Don't forget to listen to us. Thank you, Will, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. I actually got a TikTok message inbox yesterday or 2 days ago of the episode where we had guests. One of the people was just like, I really like your content, but the guests that you guys had on, like, I don't respect that. I'm like, okay. So I screenshotted to my sister, who
screenshotted it and sent it to the guest
girl. And
first of all, like, let me make this very clear, and I hope my sister uses this as a clip, because I'm going to make this extremely clear, and I'm only going to say it one time. If there's one thing about my sister and I, is we are incredibly loyal to the friends that we have, and we're loyal to anyone we care about. Never in your life do you think that you could message me or my sister to talk shit about one of our friends, and that we would jump on the bandwagon. Have you no shame?
Yeah.
Like, girl, bye. Okay?
Like, thanks for the support.
I appreciate the support. Respectfully, fuck you. Okay? Respectfully.
Clearly, that's a personal beef that she has.
Well, take your personal beef and take it elsewhere, because we don't want that shit here. I don't give a shit about what your beef is with her, but like, don't come around here to talk shit. We don't want it. We don't want no parts. We're good. Thanks.
All right. Okay, yeah, I was talking about our goals for the year.
Not meeting.
You're going back to the gym.
I mean, I have been, and that goal is being whatever is good.
That's the thing with the whole being healthy, working out. That's gonna fluctuate.
Yeah, for sure.
There's always gonna be times when you're gonna fall off and then get back on. So that makes a lot of sense. I told myself that I was gonna read a few books. I have yet to finish. I'm reading. Well, I'm not reading, but I started to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad and Sapiens, and I am trying to finish these books by the end of the year, because at least that goal will be done. Also, at the beginning of the year in February, I had finished paying off $10,000 of debt, and by the end of this year, I would have invested a good $15,000. So I'm happy about that. I'm subscribed to an online newsletter for Well Simple, and I wanted to read you something that I saw today. It says, a Canadian Nepo baby is just someone whose parents own a home. According to a new StatCan report, the National Bank of Mom and Dad is the best path of home ownership.
Oh, wow.
If you earn less than $80,000 and your parents own a home, you're more than twice as likely to own a home yourself. And no wonder, with how unaffordable housing is for anyone who doesn't have access to a handout. or a family loan. One broker told the Toronto Star that a whopping 80% of his GTA clients relied on parental money to buy their first home, which is absolutely facts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I just
must be nice. Like,
it really must.
We
be
definitely
nice.
ain't nepo babies. That's for fucking sure. Jesus Christ.
We are not nepo babies when it comes to home ownership, but hopefully we will own homes by the time we're 40. That's the goal.
Listen, for millennials, that's all you can hope for at this point, because times are hard. The fucking interest rates ain't small, and like you're fighting for your life out here.
You really are fighting for your life. Apparently, the interest rates are supposed to start going down in April.
We've heard that before,
but we will see it we will believe it when we see it.
100%. How was your weekend?
So 2 weekends ago, I went to my friend's birthday party. Mike, happy birthday. I've known him since junior high, so that was really fun. We went to Standard.
Nice.
Hadn't been to Standard in a while. I actually bumped into one of my friend's ex-boyfriend who cheated on her, and I was not a fan of her. I said hi to him to be nice, and he asked about her and basically told me if I talked to her to tell her that he still loves her, and it's the biggest mistake that he's ever made, cheating on her. So, yeah, she's definitely the one that got away. And then I saw her this weekend at a brunch, and I told her. And, I mean, he's been saying this to her for years and years since they broke up. So, yeah, make sure you don't take your significant others for granted, because... yeah, he's really hurting about this. Plus, he is not cute. I'm sorry. Her new man is much better looking than him. So I think she upgraded.
I'm fucking dying.
He also followed me on Instagram, I guess, to get close to her, and I booted him off.
I'm fucking dying.
So,
I mean, fair. I would have probably done the same.
And then what else? I was kind of feeling down because my boyfriend's been out of town, and I was like feeling lonely. And I'm like, wow, I really depend a lot on my boyfriend because I'm with him all the time, obviously. But I did decorate the house for Christmas, which makes you feel better. All the lights and Christmas decorations definitely lift your mood, but at the same time, it's not the same because you're not a kid anymore, you know?
Yeah, fair.
Christmas is really for the kids, and I'm very happy that our mom made Christmas very special every year for us.
I mean, the house is decorated.
Actually?
Less than normal. Usually it looks like Santa Claus threw up in our house. But this time it's like more like tame.
Good.
It's cute. I like it.
As long as the Christmas tree is up.
Yeah, the tree's up. It's all lit up. It looks really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Mom went with red this year.
Nice.
Our mom likes to change the colors of the scheme of the tree every year. So last year was like pink. This year it's red.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The year before, I think it was blue.
Yep.
I don't know. We got a lot of decorations. We got like storage of decoration bins downstairs in our basement because it's crazy. On the weekend, I went to my friend's. We went to his dad's for the weekend. Had a great time. Went to Casa Grec. Hadn't been in like, I want to say like 10 years. It's like a restaurant in Elmer, and you can bring your own alcohol. Well, I mean, wine and beer. You just can't bring like hard liquor.
Nice.
They don't sell hard liquor, which is trash, but whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, the food was delicious. And then I went to the Reserve on the weekend. We drove to the Reserve, got some edibles, got some cheap weed, and
apparently the natives have very good weed.
Yeah, the weed was good.
Yeah.
And then I did exactly what I do best and took too much edibles and got sick. So, you already know the vibe. The worst thing is I've taken way more than what I took.
So you greened out?
I guess. Like, first of all, I was feeling fine. Like, we're chilling. We're sitting at the, like island, whatever, like, having a drink, chit-chatting, whatever. And I was, like, stoned, Like, I was, like, kind of sitting there. I was like, oh, I feel nice, whatever. And then all of a sudden,
So you smoked and...
Well, I mean, I always smoke.
Yeah, that's true. That's the standard.
Yeah. So I was feeling fine. Like, I felt really, really high. Like, I definitely felt really stoned. And I could tell I was stoned because my eyes were no longer open. And then, like, I was kind of, like, leaning like this. And then all of a sudden, like, I just started to feel like too high. And I was like, I'm going to go lay down. So I went to go lay down. And then I'm like laying in the bed and like, just like shit started going downhill. Like my stomach started turning. I just was like, yeah, I'm not doing so well. And so I called my friend. I'm like, get in here right now. Cause he was like out there with his like dad and his dad's girlfriend, whatever. And I'm like, call him on the phone. I'm like, get your ass in here right now. So he comes running in and he's like, what's up? And I'm like, I don't feel good. And thank God, like the way his dad's condo is, like they have their own separate bathroom. And so we had a separate bathroom.
Nice.
Thank fucking
Because then you would have been holding up the washer.
I wouldn't. I would have literally went outside.
Right.
Like I would have been like, bring me to my car. Like it's
Right.
cold outside. Like I'll sit outside my car, whatever. And so I like made him like go outside the door and like make sure they couldn't see me, like run past to the bathroom because I was like, they can't see me like this. Like this is embarrassing. So I like run into the bathroom. He comes in behind me. I'm like lock the door, whatever. We go in. I'm like sitting on the floor and they have like really, really cold tiles on the floor. It felt amazing. And I'm just like sitting there like, and you know when you're not, you don't have to, you're like, you're not puking yet and it's not coming up, but you know it's coming.
Yeah.
And so like, I don't want to move because I know it's coming. And he's just like, he's high too because he ate a gummy too. So he's chilling, whatever. And at one point he's sitting on the floor beside me, whatever. And then I like take a sip of water. And I don't know if it's the water that make me sick or something. Obviously started puking. This guy, he's all stoned. He's like, eating chips over me, like
crumbs falling.
Literally crumbs in my hair. Like he's like pushing my hair back, making sure I don't like get it in the toilet and like puke on myself, but he's like eating a sandwich at the same time. So bad. And I like
real bad.
I'm like puking and I like look up and he's just like he's like hands are like in the bag of chips and I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm starving. I'm like, so fucking gross.
At least he was there with you.
Definitely brought our friendship to a new level because, like, sir, that's disgusting. And then after he was done eating, because he was so freaking stoned, I'm like sitting, I'm like still on the floor, like kind of like leaning like this. And then I look over and I just hear snoring. This guy passed out on the floor. He's passed out. He's like, and then after finally, I'm like, he's like, are you ready to lay down? I'm like, yeah. So I went to lay down and I passed out until like 4 a.m. I woke up. And then, like, I kind of felt better, but I was, like, incredibly stoned. Like,
yeah, the groggy.
So stoned. Like, groggy. The next day, I just, like, my stomach was off. I couldn't really eat that much. So it was rough. But, I mean, I did edibles yesterday, and it was fine.
See, you don't.
No, I don't. I'm never going to not do edibles. Because, like, if the worst thing I'm going to do is puke, it's not that bad.
But you do feel like it's the end of the world.
Oh,
it's never going to end.
And the worst thing is in the moment, like, I was telling myself I was fine. I'm like, okay, it's in your head. You're fine. Like, it's just weed, you know? Like, I kept reminding myself. But then when I started puking, I was like, you're not fine. You're not fine at all. Like,
yeah, it's pretty bad when
when
you start throwing up.
It was definitely rough. Yeah. It was a rough one. But I did edibles yesterday. I mean, I did less yesterday because I was like, gotta learn a lesson somewhere.
Yes,
you know?
Of course.
So I did less yesterday and I was fine.
Yeah.
I slept, like we slept all day, like on and off. I kept waking up, going back to sleep.
Thank God that happened on a Saturday so that you can rest on a Sunday.
Oh my God. There's nothing worse than being hungover, like puking hungover on a Sunday.
On a Sunday?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as it's still the weekend.
No, because then you feel like you wasted a whole day.
That's true, though. Yeah, being hungover is trash. I do quickly want to talk about the whole Cassie and P. Diddy thing because the lawsuit came out on Thursday right after we recorded, and so we haven't talked about it, and it's been 2 weeks, and the news cycle is so quick that it's pretty much being pushed under the rug, even though I heard that there has been another lawsuit against P. Diddy.
There's 3 other women coming out.
So Cassie, who was signed under Diddy when she was 19 years old and became his girlfriend for a good 10 years, came out 2 weeks ago saying that he did all sorts of things to her, including rape, sexual assault, drugging her, sex trafficking, literally every bad thing that you can think of, he did. And I've always heard bad things about Diddy, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, how do you, it's hard not to hear bad things when everyone around you has died and you're the only person who's like
still standing,
yeah, and a billionaire at that on top of it,
and a billionaire at that, which is really scary because it makes me think I never really want to be around someone that's that powerful, because as the legend Kanye West said, no one man should have all that power. And that is a fact, because there's something about human beings that when they touch a certain amount of power, they get corrupted. You see it in politics all the times. Obviously, in the industry, this happens all the time. And they settled within less than 24 hours. And I know his lawyer is probably thinking, oh, this does not mean that he admits guilt, but it really does show that
there's
you
also,
did at least some of those
There's
things.
also a video circulating on the internet of Cassie hiding under a blanket while he's recording her, and he's not being very nice to her. And like, he's saying some really weird shit, and it's just like,
I find P. Diddy very disgusting, and he's the epitome of someone that got into the Illuminati and is very demonic. And it's kind of sick to think that you have kids and daughters, and even the mother of some of his children, Kim Porter, she passed away of pneumonia, and even people are talking about how potentially maybe he had something to do with it, because it reminds me of House of Cards, or even Scandal, if you watch any of those shows. When you have a lot of power and someone's trying to say anything against you, you can literally make that person disappear. You have so many resources at your fingertips that you can make things seem what they aren't. And it is very scary. And I'm sure, people have been talking shit about Cassie being like, wow, she just wanted a paycheck. At the end of the day, what else, if you're not, because this was a civil lawsuit, so he was never going to go to jail. What else can you get from a billionaire when they took your sanity, when they took so much from you? All you really can get, because they're never going to admit to guilt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when Big Pharma always gets sued. They never admit to guilt, ever.
Look at the Oxycontin epidemic that happened. Big Pharma, all they did was start cutting checks, but they never actually admitted that they were the one.
They always make
responsible for the addiction crisis that we're all facing now.
Yeah, they always make sure to not admit to guilt so that they continue with their fuck shit. And even if P. Diddy was the type of person that's like, oh, I'll step down kind of thing. You always see that in politics. I'm going to step down, whatever. Because at the end of the day, this was also her boss too. So she sued not only Christian, what's his name? Sean Diddy Combs, but she sued Bad Boy. She sued every entity he had because he was her boss. She came out with Me and You a million years ago. She signed to a 10-album deal, and I'm pretty sure she only came out with one album. He did not help her career, but he funded everything for her, which is very scary when a man or someone controls you financially and every other way, because it's hard for you to leave because they're gonna threaten you. There was stories about how she was seeing Kid Cudi and he threatened to.
He was jealous of Kid Cudi because he thought that they were seeing each other.
Right, so he threatened to,
and he blew up his car.
And then he actually blew up his car.
And Kid Cudi signed off on these comments that were.
He agreed.
He agreed with the comments that were in Cassie's lawsuit, because he said, he did blow up my fucking car.
He did.
So,
and there's a lot of people around him that, either don't speak because they have skeletons in their closet, they've done something like that, or they don't want to lose the connection with him because obviously he's very powerful. People have been looking at Carisha from the City Girls, Young Miami. People have been looking at a lot of people being like, so what are you going to say? No one has actually said, oh, I don't think he didn't do that. They either talk shit about Cassie or they feel bad for Cassie, because this has been going on for more than a decade, and I'm sure people knew. And there are clips of even, Usher. He took Usher under his wing. He was hanging out with Justin Bieber when he was really young. There's just a lot of people that I'm sure are very like tainted because of people of power. Look at the whole Harvey Weinstein, Jeff Epstein situation. Like so many people around you help you. Bill Cosby, R. Kelly. Like there's always gonna be people of power. This is another reason why I hate. I'm not even close to being with around someone of power, but one of my favorite celebrities is Rihanna, and I remember she was dating a billionaire Saudi Arabian prince, and I kind of didn't like that because I'm like, this guy has so much power. I feel like she's more safe in North America with an African American man. So I like her being with ASAP because to me, she has more control.
I'm not really a big ASAP.
Then I mean, he's colorist and he's talk shit about dark skinned black girls and shit like that. But I would rather her be with a black guy from North America than be with a friggin' billionaire Saudi Arabian prince, because I know P Diddy is just like the tip of the iceberg. There's shit going on in Congo. There's shit going on in Nigeria. There's shit going on in Saudi Arabia. Like there's so many billionaires, millionaires doing raunchy, demonic shit with kids, women, boys, the churches.
Yeah, well, honestly, like, and with the Cassie thing, like, that's one of the biggest thing. I am such a strong advocate for, like, women having their own, like, way to fund themselves. Like, you need independence, because when you rely on someone, like, in every way, financially, emotionally, all that stuff, like, you can be manipulated so easily, and someone can take advantage and control you. Like, it's so easy for someone to just dangle basic necessities in front of you and be like, well, I'm going to take this away. And then it's like, you feel stuck, And it's like, if you had your own, then you would be able to like do your own stuff and step away when you need to and create those boundaries, Like, it's so important for people to be independent and like be able to be self-sufficient. There's nothing more important, and I say women more because like it's more often than not that it's women that are like the ones that are putting aside their careers and stuff to take care of the family and stuff like that. So I always say, like, I'm a strong advocate for women going back to work, making their own money, even if you don't make as much. You need your own money. Like, you need your own bank account. You need to be able that if something happens, you're not stuck, Like, you should always have like most people have a really good support system around them, but like you need to make sure that you're telling people what's going on, document everything, because you never know. That's
the problem. That's one thing that he had against him was he was documenting, he was recording a lot of these sexual acts.
Yeah.
And 50 Cent is one of the only people that is talking mad shit about P. Diddy and saying how
I love 50 Cent. He doesn't
because he has ownership of his own things, so he doesn't depend on other people, which is nice because then he has the freedom to say whatever he wants. And he said how back in the day he received video of Cassie doing sexual things and he confronted P. Diddy about it. He's saying like, isn't this your girl? And he's just like, yeah, like, so it's just very sketchy. He's a very sketchy person, and I believe everything that she said that he did, and I'm happy that hopefully this gives her a bit of peace. Obviously, she's still going to be traumatized, and thankfully she's married with someone else and has her own kids. Thank God, and she was able to get out of that situation, because it is a hard situation to get out of. Imagine someone that's consistently threatening you, beating your like putting you down spiritually, mentally, everything, like her confidence was probably put down for so long. Apparently she even had proof of MRI scans of her memory having issues due to all the drugs and the beatings. Like, it was very like a savage situation. So
so sad.
It is sad, and I feel like as a woman, a lot we just see it in a different point of view, because one, women are usually smaller, but then on top of that, just the power of P. Diddy, it's just so sad that you could just throw money at anything and then it just goes away. So I'm happy that she finally stood up for herself, literally like right at the deadline. I think the deadline like was a week before she filed the lawsuit. So I hope that P. Diddy gets everything he deserves. And I don't know how he sleeps at night. And even though he's a billionaire in this world, when he passes away, he will get what's coming for him. So.
And on that note, it's a wrap.
It is a wrap. Thank you guys so much for listening to us. Do not forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at SpicyTalesPodcast, and listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Bye.